18 Major Pro here, Operation Triple Front War. This is a bunch of mistakes made by Major Vo corrections. So, turn 9, the thought was Germany goes into the Netherlands. The Netherlands' remaining territories flip to the British, and then Japan gets to attack the Netherlands, the Dutch East Indies, because they're all flipped to the British. But apparently that's not true. It's an original neutral territory, so that means that would give the Americans 2d12, which is what we do not want to do. This is obviously one of the first issues I think I see with a little thoughts here of having just 3 people play because I have no one to really bounce ideas off of that someone could have said, hey, by the way, that's not how the rule works. What bothers me is, okay, I get if I don't go into the land zones, correct, but these ships would turn British, and then they could go and do whatever they want, and I can't attack them because they're previous Dutch units. So that's kind of I don't know, it's a weird one. So tactically, I guess they could load the transport and then go land somewhere, and then I guess that would mean that the previous Dutch attacked me. I know, too far down the rabbit hole to even think of. So the team has graciously allowed me to redo a couple things here. So just making some amendments to the German turn. So instead of obviously going into Belgium, we'll just go to Switzerland. I'll just re-roll that to the Swiss battle. Um, I had these 2 cav here. They wouldn't have gone here. They would have went into this fight here with this um, army, and then the 2 aircraft that were in the Belgium fight, which was a fighter and a tactical, would be in this fight now. And then I had 4 rails, 1, 2, 3, 4, which I'll just relocate because obviously I was trying to get people in place to do the objective there, which I'll have to take off. I don't have that anymore, so I no longer get the free factor or the free fortification, which I've already removed. So let's roll this up, this fight, and then we can fix that. So first strike at a 3, that's a miss. And then I have the Mountain Brigade at a 1, the 2 cavalry, the 3 medium tanks, the fighter, and the tactical. So miss, 1 hit total. So that's the militia. Dead. Okay, and then they have the militia at 2 and the 3 mountain brigades at 5s. And they get 1, 2, 3 hits. 2, 3. Delete. 1, 2, and 3. So that went swimmingly. Great first round. Okay, so we have the artillery, the 3 tanks at 5, the fighter at 4, and the tactical at 7 versus their 3 mountain brigades. 1, 2, 2 hits. And they all missed. So, come on, all around. Miss, 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 hit, hit. So that's dead. Okay. So that means the only change here is $1 difference on the German bank, because that's worth 2 and that's worth 1. So they would go down 1. Okay, so no change to tech. That was horrible. An 11 and a 3. So 1 out of 2, I guess, is not horrible. Miss Iran with an 11. Don't know if I could roll it for it anyway, but we didn't discuss that. We were busy discussing this. The rating still happened, so this one went here. This one went here. They lost 3 here, so that there was nothing lost here. There was 1 lost here from this sub coming down. This sub coming over here was the other dollar off FEC. And then this sub over here was $2 because it maxed out. So we would take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 3 there and 1 here. And then that one comes off FEC. 1 off FEC. And 2 off of Anzac. Okay, so that's the rating. No change here. So the battlecruiser still came. The heavy cruiser still came. The transport still came over. The medium tank still came over with this unit. So that's not a change. This guy still went here. Took that for free. This tactical still came in that territory. This guy still goes here. The difference is now these 3 destroyers, 1, 2, 3, would go here. That sub is there. And they would land in this territory instead. And they would take these 3 Marines. Wrong buttons. Okay. And that's there. That tactical would land there. Out of this fleet, a transport would come over. That transport. Not this transport. That transport would come over and drop an infantry and a marine into here. This transport went here. That transport comes here. This transport takes, he goes 1, 2, grabs the marine and the mountain brigade into here. The carrier would move up. And the fighter would come in here. And the tactical would come in here. And the other fighter would go over here. And then 2 heavy cruisers would be in this fight. Those are my rolls for Siam. This battleship, 1, 2, would be in this fight, bombarding. The other battleship would come over 1 for that bombard. That stays there. That stays there. This transport still goes into port, or a transport goes into port. These 2 I'll move after. So the only other 2 combats are these ones. This combat missed with 5, so that one's done. These combats don't happen, so I just reallocate it to where they would have gone. These guys would have went here. This guy still happened here in 2 rounds. So that is gone. And then these guys still go into port. And that still comes down and lands here. Okay. Oh, yes, the rail. Yeah, so we would have railed. That would have stayed. 1 would have railed. That would have stayed. 2 railed to here. 3 railed to here. And the other guy would have railed to Paris instead. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Get in there. Okay, that stayed the same. We would have railed 1 here because that's kind of weak. That just has the 3 tanks and the artillery left. Okay. Everything else would have stayed the same for Germany. They would have collected $1 less. Okay, roger. Over here. Trying to fix all this. That's fixed, that's fixed, that's fixed. Took the money off. That's there. Sub is there. Okay. I moved all these ships for no reason down to this spot. That's all right. All right, let's roll these 2 up and then we can carry on with the rest of the nightmares. So in here we have 2 first strikes at 2. Oh, we hit it. Okay. So that one is dead. And then okay, and then we have those 2 folks there. The destroyer hasn't moved. He can go back because he was 1, 2, 3, 4. The other guy was 1, 2. He can move 2 more. Guess we're going to move up a little closer here in a second. So we'll fix that. Did I get my buys? Yeah. buys changed one, so I think I had an artillery and an upgrade and a militia or something like that. So the buys changed just a little bit. That's there. This one would have had 2 battleships bombarding at 4s. And that's a hit, so that's dead. Tactical and fighter would go back. This is gone. Okay. So that is that. Fight done. Okay, so battleships are there. This start a new fleet here. Which would go here. And that would be, the fighter would go 1, 2, 3, 4, land on that carrier, which can move up. Tactical, same thing, 1, 2, 3, can move up. 2 battleships engaged here. The light cruiser would join that fight. A destroyer would join that fight. 1 transport is going to stay. No, figure that out in a second. Heavy cruiser. Come here. Light cruiser. This fighter goes here. We'll take 2 torpedo boat destroyers, put them in there. And the rest, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can move a destroyer here and 2 transports into port there. 1 transport is, yeah, they'll go there. And I think that's everything there. This fleet stays here, which is the big fleet. Transports can stay there. Where's his bomber 1? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, can't. So I'll put transports in port. That transport is in port. Heavy cruisers are here. The destroyer is there. All right. Nope, the destroyer goes here. Another destroyer can come over here. I have 1 there. I have 1 there. That fleet. I have 1 with this fleet. I have 1 with that fleet. A couple there. Okay. I think that's it. This guy is here. And the infantry upgrade is there. 1 marine here. 1 marine here with the militia upgrade. And then the AAA goes into Dadao, and I rolled a 10 for influence on Yunnan, and I rolled a 9 for recruitment at a 2 and missed both of those. So all of that comes off. Now, what's the money situation? Let's look over here. We have 34 plus 2 is 35. So 35. Okay. I think that fixes it. Once again, really sorry for the confusion there and the mistakes made. And then hopefully there are less in the future. But really big thanks to those guys, Mad Bandana itself, just to work through some of those errors there. I mean, errors are inevitable, but working with good people makes it easier. So thanks again, guys. And we'll go off to the Commonwealth of France. Thanks again for watching.